Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loki here. Join me today as I show you how to deadhead or prune your spirea. So let's go. There are a lot of different types of spirea out there. There are some that bloom during the very early spring months. Those are usually the bridal wreath spirea. They usually have a very pretty white color flower to them. But here we are in the middle of summer, and the spirea I'm talking about is called Spirea Japonica. The ones that I have in my yard have a very pretty pink color flower to them. They bloomed during the early summer months, but at this point, they're now starting to set seed. What I want to do is I want to remove any spent blooms, and by doing so, that will encourage the plant to put its energy into creating more blooms. You usually want to do this job sometime during the middle of summer, as soon as most of the blooms have gone by. There are so many different ways you can deadhead or prune your spirea. When it comes to pruning, that means taking off about 1/3 of the overall plant. And that's very good if you're trying to shape your spirea, or if you have some sort of electric tool or battery operated tool where you can just come in and you can just do a nice clean cut. Some of the tools you can use are electric hedge clippers or electric hedge cutters. And if you don't have something like that on hand, another thing you can use to make the job nice and quick would be something like grass clippers or hedge clippers that are not electric. My preferred method for cleaning up my spireas is to deadhead the flowers by using hand pruners. I don't have a lot of spirea in my yard, and they're not very big. I will say if I had a ton of spirea and if they were really large, I probably would not use hand pruners. I would want to be able to do this job nice and quickly, so I would invest a little money and buy something like electric hedge trimmers. So coming closer, and I'm going to show you what the plant looks like right now. Look at how beautiful these pink blooms look. They are still looking nice, so we're not going to touch those. But nearby, if you look at these blooms over here as well as over here, those are called spent blooms. They don't look very good. And by basically cutting them off, we're going to encourage the plant to give us more blooms. So when it comes to how far should you cut down, it really is up to you. If you're trying to basically improve the overall appearance of your plant and shape it, you might want to cut down a lot more. But if you don't really care, which I really don't care, I just want to remove the spent blooms, I'm just going to follow it down to the first or second set of leaves. So we have a set of leaves here, and then we have some more leaves down here. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut it right here. And just by doing this job, again, we are telling our plant to continue blooming, to not set seed. Look at this example here. Again, the blooms have gone by. You can see right down here, these are new buds. This is going to be blooming for us shortly. So we don't want to cut beyond that. We're going to cut right above it, right here. In this example here, let's just say this is a wild one that's very tall and you want to shape your plant a little bit. You can see down below, there are blooms that have already gone by all around here. But I want you to see this right here. That is an example of flower buds. So we don't want to cut below that. We want to cut above it. And I'm zooming way in so you can really see those tight little flower buds. That's what I mean. Since it can sometimes be tricky with what's a spent bloom and what's a flower bud, that's an example of flower buds. So we don't want to cut those off. So again, in this example, most of these have already gone by, but right here is the flower bud, and there are flower buds down here as well. So we're going to follow this down and we're going to cut it right above this set of leaves that leads out to these flower buds. So in essence, we shaped the plant. We are deadheading, but we're also cutting way down on the plant so that it's a little better of a shape. And in case you're wondering what this beautiful plant is, this is Veronica or Speedwell. I have a video that shows how to deadhead the Veronica or Speedwell for more blooms. I'll link that down in the description below. You can see the pollinators absolutely love that plant. The other thing I want to point out is by continuing to deadhead the Spirea as well as the Speedwell, we're going to have blooms for quite a while here in the midsummer months. There are so many plants out there that can benefit from a midsummer trim back or pruning, or you can call it deadheading. It is so important to keep up with that job, especially if you want a nice looking garden that has continuous blooms. After all, these plants, they want to perform for us, but we do need to help them out a little bit. I want to hear from you. Do you have Japanese Spirea? And if so, what do you do when it comes to pruning them back? Do you take some sort of electric tool and really cut them back pretty hard? Or do you come in with something like hand pruners and just snip around a little bit? And how many plants do you have? Is it a large plant? Is it a small plant? Because that helps a lot of people that are reading the comments to kind of get an idea of what's the best tool to use given the certain situation. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below. And until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.